Hi guys, so today I'm going to do a video on the iOS 10 Beta 2, which is available to the public to download and use. It's not the most stable, but I'm just going to give you a little look into what the new iOS 10 is going to be all about. So I'm using this old iPhone 5S. As you can see, it's not in the best condition. It's got scuffs and scratches everywhere. But I just thought I'm not going to install it on my iPhone 6S Plus because it's not the most stable thing, because it's not the actual iOS yet. It's just the beta one. So I thought I'd download it on this old phone and just give you a look. So the first notable difference when turning on the phone for the first time is obviously the lock screen. Now it has got a few more panels to the home screen that changes how it works. So if you swipe to the right, you have a new widget dock kind of thing where you can edit and add whichever widgets you like. So that's that. You can have things like your weather, Siri app suggestions, all of that. You can have your widgets down there, so that's quite handy to have, really. That's that. If we swipe back, then if you swipe to your left, you have a quick access to the camera, which wasn't there before. It used to be swipe up. So that's that. And to actually get onto the phone, you just press the home button to unlock. But because I have a fingerprint Touch ID on there, obviously you just put that in. Or alternatively, you can just press and hold. And it does seem to be unlocking the iPhone 5S a lot quicker than before, so I guess that's a plus. So that's another feature. And I don't know if you can hear that, but there is a new sound for the lock button, so it's only a slight little lock sound. Going into the phone, one thing that I really like the difference of is the control center thing from the bottom when you pull it up. It's less clogged, so it's laid out differently, and these buttons now have different colors if you press on them, which makes it look a lot nicer. And you'll notice there's no play, pause or skip button anywhere, and that's because if you turn this way, there's a whole different panel for your music, which I found really handy. So when you go down and then you just anywhere on the phone and you swipe back up again, it'll go back onto your music, and then you can just swipe between those two. So I'm enjoying that. One of the new features in the iOS 10 is definitely in the Messages app. So if we go into that, the iMessages has been redesigned. There's loads of different features and things. So this is just a quick example of a new feature in iMessage. So I've just written a quick message there, and if I just press the emoji button here, it should highlight the words like that emojis can be replaced with. It can replace the words with the emojis. So if you click on them, hopefully it'll watch, think, and there's two for rain, so I'm going to click the umbrella. And that's quite handy because it can just make it a bit funner. Just replace the words with some emojis like that. So that's one of the new features. And another new feature, when you do send the message like that, obviously I've got no SIM installed, you can react to messages. So it's kind of similar to how Facebook are doing it with their new liking system. If you press and hold, you can give feedback to the other person. If you don't want to actually reply, you can laugh at it or thumbs up, thumbs down. But I'm just going to do that for now, and I think that's quite a good feature because it's bringing more bringing more function to the Messages app. Other things you can do include this new drum beat kind of touchpad. You can draw or tap to send other people things. I don't really see the point in it. I think it might be a bit of a gimmick, but I don't know, some people might find it useful. So if you wanted to send that, then it'll just send it to the other person. Or you can draw by doing the same thing. Like that, and then it'll just send them it. I'm not too sure what the point in that is, but it's there anyway. And also there's an Apple Store button where you can send people suggestions to listen to Apple Music things or images, so that's quite handy as well. And yeah, and then just a camera button to send pictures of things like that. So that is the new Messages app. Also, I just forgot, emojis are now sent 3 times the size, so if you're just going to send one on its own, it'll go 3 times the size. But obviously if it's within text, it will be the same size as the text. So coming out of there, another new exciting feature of the new iOS 10 is the music app, which has been redesigned, which I'm glad about because I really didn't like the old layout of it, and I think this one's a lot better. So you've just got all of your music like that. Mine's not downloaded onto the phone, but it's all my things that I've bought. Yeah, it's just a library there, and it looks a lot cleaner and a lot. Don't think it'll play. Yeah, it's a lot. It just looks better, I think. So yeah, that's nice new designed music application. Going out from there, we've got a new home button, and I did set this up, but I'm not too sure what you do. I think it's like controlling light switches or things in your house. I don't really think I'd ever use it, but it's there if you needed it. So that's a new feature. Don't think I'll use that one. And also another thing which is worth noting is you can now delete any of the Apple stock apps. So this folder here I usually have in my phone that I don't ever use any of them, like the watch. I don't have an Apple Watch. So what you can now do is like press and hold and delete most of these applications, which is good because it can free up some memory on your phone, and I think that's a nice thing to have. So let's not forget that the main purpose of an iPhone is to be a phone, as much as people don't really use it for that anymore. But a new feature within the phone app is definitely, obviously I don't have a SIM card installed, but the voicemail app can now like transcript the voicemail that you receive, so you don't have to actually listen to it. It'll like come up with words, so it'll tell you what the voicemail is without having to actually listen to it, which I think's a good feature, and I will definitely use when I'm left messages that I don't really want to listen to. I can just read it off the screen instead, so I think that's a nice handy new feature in iOS 10. So notifications, if I swipe down from the top, I have all of my recent notifications from mostly Spotify. They're just in a different format now, so they're in this little bubble kind of thing, and you can clear all of them at once now, which is good. And if you swipe left from there, you just get back onto your widgets. Going back, you can just view, clear. I think it's just nice and clean. It's a refreshing design, really, just to have it more bubbly. You can just X all of them off. My fingers are definitely too big for this phone. X, and they all go like that. And yeah, that's notifications, so that's new. Yeah. So another thing is the Notes app. So now at the top you can see this little add person button, and it's quite handy when you write a note. If you want to share it with someone, instead of having to copy and paste it and then going into your messages, you can now press the top button and you can share the note with other people, so through social media like Facebook and Twitter, and also through your contact list. So that's quite handy to just share notes with other people so that they can add and edit to it and you're all on the same page with what's happening. So I think that's a nice new addition to that. So other features include updated Siri. I'm not online at the moment, so if I just turn that on, it's meant to be a lot more clever. So integration with third-party apps is now meant to be like a lot more apparent. So say Uber, you could just ask Siri to order you an Uber to your destination, and hopefully it would do that. So I think that's nice and handy. I don't know how many people actually use Siri because I never can be bothered, but it's still handy. I'm just going to demonstrate with the Spotify playing, the new panel at the bottom. If you pull up, and there's some nice big artwork there, and I just enjoyed that a lot more than before when it was all clogged together and you had to press there. I think this new panel's very helpful, and you can choose what to play it from. So if you've got a Bluetooth speaker there or something else, I think that's a really good addition to the iPhone. I'm not sure you can tell, but the speaker on this phone is definitely gone. There's something, I think it must be broken because it's very... I don't want to get done for copyright, but this is an absolute tune. So in the settings, there are some new things. So as you can see, Siri now has a new like icon, and there's more options for that. I think I'm not too sure. Um, yep. Also, the new home button there because that's a new thing, and I think that's about it really. Oh yeah, in general accessibility, there's a new home button thing, and you can rest finger to open, so open the iPhone with Touch ID without having to press the home button. I did try that. I'm not quite sure what it means, but when I just put my finger on, didn't do it. I think it probably means just that, and then like that. And as I say, the Touch ID does feel faster on the 5S because it was a bit slow before. And yeah. And as for everything else, it is literally exactly the same. Nothing's really changed apart from those few things. And I'm sure I have missed quite a few features out. I can't have covered everything. I was only giving my view of what I noticed, what changed on the phone from iOS 9 to 10. And it's still in beta format, so it's not the actual iOS that's going to be released to the public yet. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions on videos you want me to do in the future, please let me know, and thanks for watching.